Facebook world. So, I have a little something to say. Usually I wouldn't do this, but I felt the need to step out of my place today and do this. Um, I drove and dropped my friend Caleb off at work today this morning, and I came to an intersection on El Camino where it was a red light for me and the cars in front of me, and there was a homeless guy pushing a really, really heavy cart across the street with a bunch of bags for recyclables and just things that he could do to make money just to live, technically. And his walk sign turned red, and he didn't make it across the street in time because the cart was so heavy. So everyone started honking at him, and a couple people yelled at him, and someone cussed at him. And he got out the middle of the road, and our light turned green, and a couple cars went forward. But since it took him so long, by the time the light was red again, I was at the front of the line. The cars behind me were still yelling at him. He finally made it across the street and was just looking behind him and looking at all the cars, just crying, trying to apologize because he felt so bad. He was just having the worst anxiety attack. And he made it all the way across the street and was standing there and looked back and was just so happy to have that be over with, and turned around to push his cart, and the biggest bag inside the cart just ripped down the side for no fucking reason and just opened, and all the bottles and cans in that cart just spilled all over the fucking road in the middle of the road. And everyone just continued to honk and scream and be dicks, and at that point he was literally just in tears crying. Okay? Now, that's not what pisses me off. The thing that pisses me off, right? I understand everyone has a life and everyone's busy. Not everyone can get out of their car and help that homeless man pick up all that shit, because that's going to take a fucking while. But out of the hundreds of people who saw that, I was the only motherfucking person who at least took the time to do something. I pulled over, I took out a blunt, I rolled a blunt next to him, I got out of my car, I handed him the blunt, I handed him a nug for a bowl later, and I handed him $20 and said, before you pick this shit up, go sit down and smoke and go eat and go chill for a second, because you look hungry and you need to chill. Everything's gonna be fucking fine. I didn't have time to stop and help him pick all that shit up, but I had money and I had weed. So I did what I could to try to help. And yeah, it's gonna suck picking up all that shit, but it's gonna be a little bit better knowing that when you're done, you get to go and smoke a blunt and go eat somewhere, you know? The reason I'm so fucking pissed is because out of the hundreds of people who saw that shit happen to him, not one person stood up and did anything. Everyone was just aggravated and irritated and filled with so much hate, and not one person stepped out to do something. I'm glad that I was there to do something, but I mean, can we fucking do something about this? Is there any way we can do something about this, you guys?